Hey everybody, this is Matthew of Mr. Domestic. This video is going to focus on the triaxial weave. Ooh, we're going to do the basic tumbling blocks in this video. So before we get into the content, make sure to click that subscribe button and get ready to have some Tri-axial fun. This video is going to show you how to do a triaxial weave. The pattern here is going to be the tumbling blocks weave, and the first time that I did it, I flipped out because it was insane what I was able to do. So these are the things that you're going to need. You'll need your foam board already prepped with a triaxial weave. You need 3 different fabrics. My most impactful tumbling blocks weaves, generally I'll have one that has minimal pattern on it, one that has a pretty ornate pattern, and then one that's a geometric, and that tends to be my favorite with high value difference between the 3. And for the first layer, all you need is the vertical ones. So I've already pre-cut these, but with the other 2, I have 4 width of fabric strips. Area-wise, I think I only need 3, but with the diagonals, it gets a little wonky. But with the vertical, I only needed 3 width of fabric strips that I pressed and then cut to about 11 inches to go beyond this 10-inch square. So let me get started with the first layer. These are just like the basket weave, where you just start pinning vertically like this. And then if this is your first time to one of these videos, then I pin these at an angle, and this is me showing you close up what that looks like, and it's just so that I can keep this strip taut. And I like to start on the middle. These lines are just guidelines. They don't have to be on the line precisely. And I'll do this one next. With each strip that you add, try to get it as close to the adjacent strip as possible. And then this is the next one, and I'm going to speed up for these other 8 and then get to the second layer. Okay, so now the first layer is complete, and we're gonna go into the second layer. And with these, with the fabric strips that I've already pressed, I cut as I go because each diagonal is gonna be a little different. And this one follows a 1, 2, 3 pattern, and that determines where you're gonna go, whether you're gonna go under or over. And so I'm gonna go ahead and label 1, 2, 3, and then it's gonna continue going up. The first one, I'm going to go ahead and weave it. This is how you weave the wefty if this is your first time seeing it. Is over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1. And then I'm going to find the diagonal line here. This was this 130-degree angle. And then follow it all the way through. And once you set this first one up, the others should be no problem because you created the grid line, and this is only a 10-inch weave, so it's no problem. And I'll go ahead and use this pin since it's here, and then I'll snip it here. And that is pattern 1, okay? So the next one is going to be 2. And I am going to start going under 1, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2. Basically, it's different iterations of over 1, under 2, just shifting over slightly. Let me go ahead and pin this one. So that is number 2. And I'll cut this one. And then the third is, I'm gonna weave it one more time in frame so you can see it. This one, I'm going to go under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, and then it'll go under 1 here, because that's where it ends. And this was 1 width of fabric strip. It got me 3 strips on the full diagonal here. Just FYI, and I'll pin these. Okay, and then you've done the 1, 2, 3. So now the next one is going to be 1 again, and you're going to follow this one here. And I'll do this one in real time, just so that you can see that pattern again. I have done weaves where I was not paying attention and I did it backwards, where I followed the backwards pattern. So just make sure that it's going this way if you're weaving, as opposed to this way, because then it wouldn't work. So over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1, under 2, over 1. Ta-da! And I will pin this, cut this, and then I will speed it up as I finish the second layer. This that I'm weaving right now is called the second layer. And now I have finished layer 2, and I didn't have to put anything here because I would have been under 2, and it's unnecessary. And FYI, for this diagonal, I only used 3 with the fabric strips. I didn't have to cut into the second one, or the fourth one. So now, this is where it gets super fun, and it gets a little intimidating if you're not able to see it. We're gonna weave on this diagonal, going on this 30°, and we're going to look for what I call backwards Z's. I'm going to just tape one with masking tape so that you can see it, that we're gonna weave under these backwards Z's like this. So with the strip, I don't have anything on it. And this is how I do it. I use my 1 inch to weave it and then this one to lift it. It's going to go through these backward Z's and you're gonna weave it all the way through. And because you made this first layer taut, this is going to be insanely taut and you don't have to worry about adjusting it as we go. So now layer 3, this is where the magic happens and you start to see the boxes and it's crazy amazing. So let's start with this layer, since this is where I put the tape so you can see it. So this is part of a Z, and I'm going over these 2 vertical, going under this Z, or backward Z. You can call it an S if you want to. I guess that is a backward Z. See how it's going? Now I'm going under this Z that I taped. And then what this is for is it helps make sure that this doesn't get caught on the lip of the folded fabric. And then this final one. Okay, yay! That is so fun. I have been doing this for so long and still I do not tire of the magic of this weave. And with the second one, I'll do that one in real time too, so that you can start to see the boxes. I'll go ahead and remove this Z. And now I'll tape over the next Z. So we're gonna go this one, this one, this one, right? This is another backward Z. This is the next one that we're going to weave into. And you just keep looking for those backward Z's. And if you do this and you're not seeing the tumbling blocks, that means you're skipping. I've seen some people when they do this, they skip this one and go to the next one, and they don't understand why it's not working. So let's look for, there it is. The first backward Z to get started. See how I'm weaving it? And then the next one, which is the one that I taped over. Ta-da! Ta-da! And then the final one. So let me remove that so you can see what's going on. And I will do one more in real time because this is where you do see definitely the blocks happen. And I'm not going to tape the Z to see if you can see it. I do have a tumbling blocks pattern available that documents this in still form if you wanted to get that at my craft. See, I'll link it in the description. So this one's gonna go under here, and then over, under, and you're always going over the 2 vertical ones. If you're doing this for the first time, it might benefit you to work with solid so that the play of the prints doesn't make it harder for you to see the backward Z's. Okay, so see, the tumbling blocks are starting to form. Now I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to see this in real time, and I'll come back and the magic will be done. Okay, now I just have a couple more left, and I'm gonna do this in real time so that you can see these final ones if you've gone dizzy looking at me weaving it fast forward. So there's that one, pin this here. And I reuse pins that are already pinned into the board to pin, and I just make sure to get a couple layers underneath it as opposed to bringing in new pins, because then it would just be way too many pins on a board for me. And this might be the final one. I'll see if this one needs one, and I won't know until I'm done with this one. Going through the backwards, see? Going over the 2 vertical, gotta unpin this to make room. And then pull this through. Pin this one down. And then I think you are going to need one more. Then the tumbling blocks weave will be done. This will be the Z. This is the Z, so it will go there. And I'll just unpin all of these to get over that final. And then boom, boom. Get my final pins on. Boom. And then this one, and once again, this one only took 3 width of fabric strips instead of 4. But if I told you 3, then of course I would run out in the middle of a video. So ta-da! The tumbling blocks triaxial weave is done. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. But if you are able to do this, you are gonna be blown away, and it's gonna open your mind and your ability to so many awesome things that you can do with fabric weaving. Thanks for watching my video. You can subscribe on the right, just click on my face and watch some of my other videos on the left.